Hey guys, so today we are going to be reading chapter 7. I know some of the Google Docs and things like that weren't really working, so I'm hoping to upload these videos so that way you can listen to the chapter and go back and re-listen as much as you need to. So like I said, chapter 7. The men scrambled to fold their tents, pack up their knapsacks, and fill their canteens at the stream. Already they were grumbling about the heat. Bertie skipped around as if she was getting ready to go to a party. Thomas helped Les ready the horses for the trip, keeping his ears pricked up as he worked. A person learned by listening. That's what Clem always said. Sure enough, Thomas had learned more in the past 2 weeks than he'd learned in the past 2 years. The men were always talking about their families and their sweethearts, their hometowns, and their plans for getting back home. And of course, they talked about the war. It turned out what Clem had said was right. People in the North did think slavery was evil. It had been illegal in the North for years. Now, President Lincoln wanted to end slavery everywhere in America. Except the people in the South didn't care what President Lincoln thought. They wanted to keep their slaves. 11 southern states were already trying to break away from the United States to start their own country, a country with slavery. Here's what Thomas had figured out. If the North won the war, the states would stay together and slavery would be gone forever. And if the South won? Thomas tried not to think about that, but listening to the men each night, it was hard not to worry. The North had more soldiers and better weapons and uniforms, but the rebel fighters were fierce. Even though some fought barefoot with rickety guns that would barely shoot, they had a ferocious battle cry, the rebel battle cry, that they screamed out when they were charging. It sounded like you're being attacked by a pack of wild beasts, Henry had told him. The sound will chill you right to your bones. And now Thomas could see how worried the men looked as they packed up the camp. Thomas overheard Les and Homer talking behind the supply wagons. He didn't mean to spy, but they were talking in loud voices. "This is going to be another Fredericksburg," Lester said. "I can feel it." "Don't say that, Les. Don't even think it," Homer said. Later, Thomas asked Henry about what he'd heard. Henry didn't answer right away. "Fredericksburg was a big battle we fought," he said, "back in December." "What happened there?" Henry looked into his knapsack, rummaging around as though he might find the answer folded up within his blanket. But then he dropped his pack and sat down. He patted the grass next to him, and Thomas sat too. Henry's face got a faraway look, and then, in a low voice, Henry told the story of that day.